I always ask myself, why does like no one want me, or, you know?
The journey through foster care and adoption is one filled with pain, uncertainty, and the search for belonging. For many, the scars, both physical and emotional, linger long after they find a permanent home. According to the most recent data from 2022, an estimated 369,000 children were in the foster care system. Among them, 1,861 were confirmed to be victims of abuse while they were in the system. This is proof that even in a system meant to protect, safety is not always guaranteed. But these stories, while rooted in brokenness, ultimately reveal the profound strength of healing, resilience, and hope. This is a story of children who have endured unimaginable hardships and found their way to safety, love, and family.
My name is Melanie Thompson. I've adopted 10 children and I have fostered 8. I think the hardest part of adopting or fostering is looking at the excess baggage that the children may come with from their previous adopted placements or their previous foster homes. Some of the abuse that I have seen from Hillary and her brother Noah, they were in a 7-year placement in Texas, and before they were moved to the home where I adopted them from, there were scars down Noah's back, a lot of physical abuse with Noah. He didn't always comply when they wanted him to. A lot of emotional abuse for Hillary, tantrums, not communicating, shutting down.
I was adopted from Texas. My biological mom is Marisol, and she gave us up for adoption because she wasn't able to take care of us like a mom should have. She wasn't able to take care of us because she was so young. They found us eating dog food off the ground, so they took us. Someone called CPS and took us. Trash all over the place, diapers full, everything. The other 3 siblings, they were all 5 of us were in the same household. They found us all eating off the ground. They took them to another foster. We weren't in the same foster home. We were in separate ones. Me and Noah were in foster care for 7 years. We endured a lot of abuse in there. I slept by a window with no bed. Noah, he was, got thrown in the bathtub, so they made me watch that part. He would get thrown in the bathtub every time he wouldn't listen or something.
Abuse just isn't about the physical part of a child being hurt. There's also the endurance of the emotional, the spirit, their safety issues that they come with, a lot of those things. My opinion of the foster care system is that it's broken in a sense that children are in care for so many years before they're adopted. They're moved so many different times. When reintegration is not a viable option for them to go back with their family or with a relative family member, then they're put with strangers, which I understand that it's a safety precaution. You know, they can't go back with the mom or dad, or they can't go back with an aunt or uncle. But that breaks them inside. So that's one problem. The second problem is that the system is slow to move forward. It's a difficult process, and that's why I think a lot of them are so broken when they come to their final resting place in a new family, you know, because they have to reset. It's a reset. So the reset is difficult a lot of times.
I would say as the foster care system as a whole, there's definitely some good foster parents out there. I won't lie, I have seen good foster parents out there, but there are a lot of foster parents who think that these kids are their kids so they can do whatever they want with these kids, which is definitely not what the foster care system is about. You're not supposed to lay your hands on these kids. You're not supposed to discipline these kids like you would discipline your own kids. I've grown better as a person, but it's also given me a lot of trauma. It doesn't scare me, it more is just so I've been through the experience. I know what it's like. So seeing other kids go into the foster care system, it's always very troubling since I know what it's like to be in the foster care system. Not all families are going to be the best parents in the world, but some of these families are definitely not fit to be parents.
My name's Thompson, and I am adopted from Hong Kong. My mom was doing drugs while she was pregnant with me at the time. She did fentanyl, meth, cocaine, and even heroin. She had to give me up for adoption because she had a really bad drug addiction and she wasn't able to care for me. I always wondered how she's doing or if she's even alive. I'm telling myself that she's somewhere safe, but deep down I think she's not even alive anymore. My dad wanted to keep me at the time, but he remarried and the wife didn't want to keep me, and I had moved around to a lot of other foster homes. It was difficult for me to understand because that meant I had to reconnect with new family members as well as new kids in the home. The first time I got adopted by a family from Michigan. There was a younger sister named Malia. Her and I always got treated differently. She was able to do extracurricular activities such as sports or camps, and she was able to go to a public school. While I wasn't even able to go to a public school, I was always homeschooled, and the mom was very abusive at the time, and my dad was always on her side. It wasn't really a good feeling, of course, but I was still growing, and I was I don't know if this is supposed to be a right feeling or a wrong feeling in a way. I remember telling him, hey, I feel like I don't belong in this family because I'm getting treated differently between the other girl that was living there at the time. And that night he got an answer back from the adoption agency, and they said that they had found a new family that would take me in. It's another family I have to rekindle with, and I always ask myself, why does no one want me, or
What I would want a foster child to know is that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that there are people out there that are willing to give them a home, and that they're going to love them and nurture them the best that they can, or the best that they know how. That love should always be colorblind. I think that there's nothing more important than people just looking at a child as the child.
I remember driving to the airport with my foster dad and meeting my new family at the airport. They had changed my life because the mom was very loving and supporting. A lot of my other siblings were adopted from Russia, China, and Estonia, and it made me feel very connected to all of them because knowing that they were also in foster homes and stuff like that before they came there. They understand the same story that I went through.
I'm really happy that I got adopted, and I'm really happy that I'm with this family that they found for me. I just try not to focus on that bad stuff anymore because it brings all the memories back.
Keep your head up, honestly. You're going to get out of it. I honestly thought I was that one kid that was not going to get out, that was never going to have parents. I may not legally have parents on paper, but I have a great mother, and she's the closest thing I can call to a mom on paper. You're going to get out at some point. You're going to do better. Even if you get out and you're still not doing the best, there's definitely help out there for you. You're definitely not alone, but just find the people that will sit there and stick by your side.